Pachycephalosaurus. Sometimes he's a piece of jerk, since his biggest desire is to break others' bones. So let's go! But first we need to grow. Unquestionably someone have problems with that. Younglings of Horsosaurus were forced to fight for their life almost immediately after birth, without at least tasting the perfect shroom. And as you can see, younglings have some troubles with that fight. So let's go again. Truths again. At Chased Sanctuary, the young ones really should not visit. And they didn't. Because they were attracted by the smell of other genes from the nearby crate. They ate all, but the appetite lasted. They wanted coconuts so much, but the coconuts didn't want to fall down. And it didn't really matter how much were Pachy's stubborn. The coconuts were just nowhere. And not long after, the Pachys targeted their first victim. Just look at that herbivore power play. After the Pachycephalosaurs had satisfied their aggressive desires, they set off to migrate, during which my subject managed to break his leg. And after 2 minutes and few seconds passed away, the fracture was healed, so he could continue. But the Terran had another plans. Free bitch! Anyway, night fell, so our Pachys had to resort to sleep, and they choose this interesting cave. Which is on the delta if you want to know. And at the very next morning, our subject discovered that he had lost his companions and blamed it on the nearby howling Trudons. But those peaches blind you like this, and then they bite you more than before. And as they are small and fast, you just see Yet this Pachy just had a tunnel vision and insane desire to bonk them. Our Pachy completely stopped perceiving pain or exhaustion, so he just didn't pay attention that he is losing stamina. for the disgusting darkness. So dangerous through dawns, little fuckers. Just be the most careful with these little bastards. They deceive with their bodies. They are pretty tough. Let's go again, and guess who is in the sanctuary? Okay, but now, let's hope it will work out this time. Our subject was really much more cautious at this time. But after he heard another Pachy, he really immediately wanted to find him. To be in herd is much more better for pachycephalosaurs. And the bigger herd, the better. However, this herd of 2 dinosaurs did not last long. Anyway, our subject have luck and found another herd right after. And it was fucking huge herd. So you can be witness to how Pachys bond and socialize with others. And then in the early evening they decided to move elsewhere. So they started to go ahead with those melons in their tiny mouths. But it didn't last very long in my subject's mouth. He probably didn't want the fishy taste from the butter. The herd migrated all night, and during getting the party drink, some were startled by the stomping they heard behind them, which fortunately turned out to be a friendly stego. Unfortunately, not everyone is friendly, and we all know the main rule of this game is trust no one. This stego showed some signs of split personality. He himself didn't surely know whether he wanted to fight with us or he wanted to be just bonked out. Then the Pachys left him alone and went to grab a snack. And used a local anomaly for that. And because they valued their pack leader very highly, they brought him some anomaly apples for him, since he had to heal in a bush. And water access is the next place where our Pachys are looking for more potential victims to break bones. Completed, so they can move on. Well, just look at that commando. Skulls polished, thighs fleshy, trained by constant running and walking on the island. And the final and goal destination is Delta. Delta is just like a center and you can meet anyone here. And the fight between those two jumpy species of dinosaurs is just ideal matchup. Well, it was again a power play. What we can do? But they would never ever harm the duckies. Just never! Our group of pachyes wanted to cross the bridge to see what's there. Well, you look what happened. Like, I just don't understand why I did it. Why I have to always do some bullshit. At the end, luckily the guy survived. Sorry dude. Will survive also our subject. Since he is completely out of stamina, even drowning. Pachy just had to sit down, be packing quiet and pray. And luckily, this strategy paid off. And right after it was possible, he came back to his folks. And he was hoping that the mistake he made will not earn him an exile. Anyway, dudes were so chill, so go! Lucky! Not long after the fight with Ceratosaurus, our group noticed a pack of raptors watching them from a nearby island. Pachy's get healed on the rock, and as the morning race came, they moved as far as they could from the huge omnipack. Absolutely grazed out the little middle island, and were looking for another opportunity to break some bone to someone. However, the Allosaurus on the other side wasn't the best target at all. And it was really busy on that shore anyway. This is the ultra mega super ultra hyper plus for this server that so many people is playing here. Pachys then decided to move to another shore. And they had to be very careful there, because the danger is everywhere. They refused to have that honor to fight with Ceratosaurus again, so they waited in a bush. So for now the safest way was on the bridge. But the bridge himself is dangerous. Herreras were on the both sides. And on the both sides were not just them, but also packs of much larger carnivores. And our packies were watched by everyone and everywhere. And to God thankfully, not everyone have the evil thoughts. However, thoughts of these packies are just clear. They just wanted to bonk whatever the fuck moves around. And time to time, they don't see the danger. They face. Those stubble-born horsosauruses. However, it is true that Allosaurus inspired natural respect. But even so, sometimes there is an individual who does not perceive the danger. And at least this individual was gallant enough to leave this duck alone, since his gallantry was not reserved for others. After a short time, packies spotted Hera and made their way to try to little bit fight it, but unsuccessfully. And those bravest of the pachycephalosauruses dared to try to fight this Allosaurus. But my subject rather went to eat and watched the fight from far distance. And he did right thing, because it turned out the way you see. Then was a time for a short refreshment. And just before dawn, packies decided to follow the sounds of omnis they heard nearby, so the fight can start, because the desire to bonk someone is just stronger than any packy. And our subject just started his tunnel vision. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to subscribe, leave me a like or comment. For example, what dinosaur you like to see next.